in the grand finals. Did I pause the music or did the song just end? I did pause the music. You know, sometimes you just gotta double check these things. It's our grand finals, which means it's a best of 5. As to the bottom right hand side, it is our Blue Zerg Solar. Top left, our pink Protoss is Zest. So, game number 1 of this best of 5, getting this set to roll. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for joining in. If you're just wondering, oh my god, I've only caught the finals. What am I going to do for the rest of the day once this is done? Well, fear not. We've got a second tournament coming up. And that's in an hour and 12 minutes. So pretty much as soon as this... kind of depends how long this best of 5 is. But pretty much as this best of 5 ends, we go into the WardiTV Summer Championship Europe Group C. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's up? Time to tell with the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the $10. Appreciate it. Give me some love in the chat for the generosity. We've had a lot of generous donations today. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Robo facility dropping down here from Zest. So this PvZ is already kicking off pretty quickly. We saw Zest playing a pretty weird build against Rogue on this map with the Robo opening into the double Stargate Phoenix. It was a very interesting way to get going. So kind of intrigued as to what Zest does this time around, because he is opening already with that Robo first, and otherwise we have seen him open a lot of Phoenix styles in the PvZs today. So yeah, I'm kind of interested, you know. Zest, show me what the plan is here. Let me get this ready to go. Warp Prism initially. So last time he went Warp Prism into the Immortal, into double Stargate. It's pretty intriguing as we do see the Stalker coming out over the right-hand side, Overlord. Hanging out down on the bottom as the third hatchery. Get the Queen on the way. The Ling in the main is going to be able to, is going to go down, sorry, not going to be able to do anything. As the Adept Shad's out of there just alive. What's up, Mr. Steinkow is coming in for the Twitch Prime sub as well, by the way. Thank you so much. How you doing? Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for using the Prime over here. What's up, my man Slozzer in the chat as well. Slozzer 12k. Long time no see, buddy. Says thanks for casting. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in today. What's up, Aurora in the chat as well? How you doing? So we do see drone count just increasing for Solar now. Zest has one or more finished. Now Chrono boosting out an Observer. Again, I'm just keeping my eyes open. I'm so ready to see Stargates dropping down. Like, I want to try and understand the plan here for Zest, because it felt like the last time, I don't know, I felt like he was going double Stargate, then wanted to attack, but then he actually just expanded, and it was kind of, it felt very all over the place. This time he starts a second Immortal. That's already a big sign towards being very aggressive here in the near future, obviously. So 4 more gateways as well. Yep, well, tell you what, this Overlord comes in at a good time, though. We'll see the 4 extra gateways. That's obviously before any third base time, no usual 4 extra gateways. So that's a good information for Solar. He knows now there's got to be some kind of aggression coming in on this. That's going to be a force field to push that Queen a bit further forwards as well. Second force field traps the Queen in, and we'll get an inject before going down. 2 force fields for Queen so far. Ooh. No, he didn't pick up that Adept. Poor guy is like, hey, go come get me. And the whole business is like, nah, I got you. Tricked you. And the poor Adept's like, god damn, Mr. Prism. You think you're so cool and powerful with 6 range pickup? Just wait till I nerf you. Then you'll be able to pick me up from 5 range away. See how you feel then. This is before the Adept realizes he's then campaigning for the Prism to never be able to lift him up again. It's a nerf for him too. Politics of Protoss. What's up, Lincoln311 Park? Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Also, back-to-back Prime subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love to see it. Ooh, that's going to go Robobay. So definitely a way to swap this up a little bit. Second facility as well, so he's really looking towards more tech rather than committing to an attack. But Solar sees it. Those unit structures are just a little bit too close to the front, and so the Zergling running up the ramp gets to see everything. So Solar currently holding full information, seeing there is a transition behind this from Zest. Yes, this is still a big push, but he's already made a good amount of units. And you can see Zest is just like, yeah, this isn't pretty. Instant recall, and because it's an instant recall, he doesn't lose anything in that process. Disruptor's on the way up. So yeah, Disruptor's going to be the choice. I was kind of feeling maybe Colossus here because there's a lot of Lings and Roaches, etc. and teching up, perhaps. Yeah, Disruptors obviously work too. Disruptors aren't actually that popular choice in PvZ because a lot of the time you're looking to use those charge lots, and when you're using the charge lots, Disruptors kind of get in the way because the Disruptor fires and it's like, oh wait, mate, my Zealots are there, no! And then, you blow up your own Zealots and we go back to Protoss politics, and, then the Disruptor gets fired from its position, and, then you don't have Disruptors to use in other matchups, and it kind of sucks. So, unfortunately, in the world of PvZ, you just don't see these Disruptors a lot because it's kind of weird in terms of trying to use them, but extremely excited. I mean, they definitely can work, don't get me wrong, but they're much better at working when... I just feel like the setup that Zest has got here, it feels like they're very good like against Roach Hydra, but against Lings especially. I'll just, you know what, I'm just going to say let's watch them and see what they do, because I feel like against this style they shouldn't be great, but I'm very ready to be proven wrong. Very ready to be proven wrong. So, but Aurora coming in with the $5. So glad I had time to just watch some Wardy today. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Aurora. Good to see you back, buddy. Thank you, as always, for the $5 donation. Got a little bit of a love train. People just donating, Prime subbing. Train is leaving the station. Thank you so much, everybody. Do appreciate it as we see the Disruptors continue to join up together again. More Baneman's going to be finishing up. The extra Stalkers just on the way in. I mean, Stalkers with Blink, obviously the more typical way of seeing this. In the end, this is just 2 bases, though. I guess that's something I never really brought up, right? The fact that I was kind of just waiting for the 3rd base to start. I was like, okay, it's got to come soon. He's going for, he's tacking up. No, this is actually just going to be a 2-base all-in. So in the end, without charge, I guess the Disruptors kind of make some more sense because then the Zealots aren't as in the way as they might usually be, depending on when you fire them. You can see Solar's kind of spread out in multiple angles. Wants to collapse in from the top side as well. Hallucination, get a bit of a heads up as to what this is looking like. First Disruptor shot. That's also a good idea for the Hallucination. See where you should send the Disruptor to. Disruptor's going in a few different directions at the moment. That one connects on a Queen and a couple of Roaches. Banelin's getting blown up as well. Some Banelin's, oh my god, force field at the last second there. Very good force fields here, honestly. Bane's on the bottom side will not be force fielded though, as we see the units from Solar continue to surround. Is it enough? Zest only really has a few Stalkers left over. Reinforcing Zergling should be able to deal with that. The Disruptor hunts down a Ravager. Man, that was a little bit crazy as the War Prism still Chrono boosting out here at the moment. Stalker's going to pick the way through the pylon here. Robo Facility going to be freed as we do see the Disruptor shot, just trying to protect itself from the Zerglings. So we'll dive on it again. Obviously when the Disruptor is firing, it is immune to its own shot. It can't blow itself up, so just force the Zerglings away, but the Lings were able to get back on track. There's a nice attempt from Zest to try and save the day right there. Thank you so much. Dora owns you. Dora? Dora. I'm not sure I signed myself away to Dora, but well, apparently if that's the way it is, apparently, never mind, Dora owns me. Solar owns Zest right here in this fight. Absolutely crushing blows. Solar just destroys this army. Kind of expected after the first attack from Zest. Game number 2. Best of 5 finals, of course, here in the Olimoleague. So still some time for our boy in the bottom left in pink, Zest, to, you know, get back into this a little bit. Top right-hand side, our red Zerg player from Triumphant Song Gaming, Solar. Reminder, in 1 hour's time, the WardiTV Summer Championship will be starting up. Make sure you come and check that out. Gonna be fun. Yeah, it should be pretty awesome, actually. Looking forward to it. Hatchcast and Pool, the opening from Solar early on. So next on the way down from Zest, just going to watch this probe nibble away. Obviously be a little bit annoying in the early stages. A couple of minutes here before tech choices are set row being made. How is everybody feeling in the chat today? Are we feeling good? It's double tourney Tuesday. Means we've got a lot of StarCraft for you all. And yeah, I hope you guys are just having a good time. Hope you guys are enjoying the games, of course. It's always a pleasure to be able to come in and cover some Olimoleague action. Like I say, usually I look to grab the replays of this event and cast them on the YouTube channel. So if you ever want to hear me cast some more Olimoleague, do check that out, youtube.com/WardiTV. We're actually doing pretty good on the sub count on YouTube lately, to the point where we might be back on track for our goal of 10,000 YouTube subs by the end of the year. So if you want to help us out with that, do check it out, youtube.com/WardiTV. We put up a different YouTube video every day, and sometimes there's YouTube-only casts, rather than just stuff you've seen on the stream, so it's kind of like bonus content. So check that out. You can type !YT in the chat if you want a direct link. If you're too lazy to type it into the browser page. I get it. There's a reason I create those links. I know what the world is like nowadays. It's tough having to type in links when the bot should be able to give it to you. On this PvZ, we have had the first tech choice, and that is the Stargate dropping down in the main base here of Stargate here, with the Phoenix being the first choice from Zest. Phoenix comes forwards and already going to start nibbling its way through that Overlord. So Overlord taking some damage as Link Speed finishing up shortly from Solar. 2 Adepts pressing forwards the Queen. Just going to deal some more damage. The Adepts will pull back and save themselves for a little bit later on here. In general, he's been saving those for kind of when the Archons come in. He's been looking to, again, just in general, use them at a bit of a later stage. So I cancel. On the way up on the main base is the Oracle, the Phoenix, from Zest, pressing forwards. Single and Speedling. On a bit of a wander up to the top left-hand side, and just going to be kind of keeping an eye out for the third base being taken, get a bit of an idea when that's going to be taken. Obviously, Zest has a choice of third bases. Honestly, they both kind of work pretty well. I feel like this one's maybe a bit more common for the Pros players. Lots of force field potential. Upper ramp is always easier to defend than defending down the ramp. So, yeah, especially if you want to give chase. Like, if these units, like, run away over here, for example, you know, you can chase down a ramp more easily than you can chase up a ramp if these units are running back from an attack on the third. Wardy thinks I'm lazy. I don't think you're lazy, Jables. I know you're lazy. Kappa. I mean, I am, but still. I'm sorry. The problem is if I assumed or presumed that Twitch chat was motivated and always doing the best thing for themselves and looking out for their own causes, I don't feel I'd get very far. Beautiful stasis ward in the main base from Zest. Solo getting a lot of drones caught up. This is resonating glaives from Zest, so it has been changed up a bit from the initial potential Archon drop I was talking about. Obviously another reason to keep the early 2 Adepts alive, because if you want to go into Adepts, then it's nice to have even more Adepts to send across the map. Adept's going to run on over, so really looking to get some damage done here with this glaives. However, Solar, I mean, the things that he's had on the map, he's been able to see this coming, and now he's building a bunch of Roaches, and well, Roaches already being out here means he can take a fight right away. Gets a really good surround on the bottom half of the Adept count. I mean, they are just going to die. What an absolute disaster for Zest. He's going to have, what, a couple of Adepts survive to make it into the main base? 3 Adepts survive, one of which is extremely low already. 2 drones. 2 drones! Wow, that one absolutely huge disaster. I mean, we're at this point now where we have... So put it this way, right? We've got a bunch of gateways here from Zest on the way up. He wants to go into like an Immortal Sentry Adept follower, but now he's lost his Adept frontline. And he didn't really do any damage with this, so by the time he attacks, Solo is already on 60 drones. He's going to have so many units, and this is looking very good for Solo to take a 2-0 lead in this grand final. Zest is truly just struggling. Again, Solo at the moment does not seem to have much of an answer to just being completely shut down, basically. Couple of queens pushing the prism away through the center of the map. Prism coming back along to the bottom right-hand side. Ravagers continue to gather up roaches as well. Do you see the Zerglings here from Solo down the bottom? See where he can go. Lings, roaches, and Ravagers gathering on up over there, and just now we've seen the Robo Bay on the way out from Zest. Second Robo facility dropping down as well. And the units here from Zest up on the top side, Stalkers, Immortals, and Sentries, moving back across to the upper left. A lot of Lings in the centers. You see the Prism trying to do a little bit more damage. I mean, this is something for Zest at least, right? I mean, a couple of drone kills. Anything you can do to slow Solo down. If the Robo Bay, he's going into Colossus, and I mean, you're at the stage where you just have to do something that's not really regular. Something that's a bit crazy. He kills a probe to get out of supply block to get this Colossus going faster. This kind of feels like the last game in a way, where Zest is going to sit on 2 bases for a very long time, build up into an extremely large army, and then just die because Solo's been maxing units off of 20 more workers for 3-4 minutes before the fight actually comes in. So Zest is in so much trouble here. I mean, Colossus don't even matter when there's so many units that they're just going to get swarmed. What they're gonna, how they're gonna laser their, way through all those roaches when they're already on top of them. It's gonna be pretty tough to say the least. A couple of things starting to go down. Zalds will get to the other side and pick off that Zerglings. As we do see the Phoenix going after the Overseer on the bottom of this. Overseer gets knocked down there. A bit more creep spread from Sola, still pushing down to the bottom left-hand side of this all now. Snake Phoenix from Zest setting up. Going out into the center. Ling Roach Ravager joining up together. Bunch of Banelings on that top side as Centrifugal Hooks continues to come in. Bane speed about halfway done as we see the Stalkers warping in. I mean, we're about to see the attack from Zest. He's got to go any second now. The longer he waits, I mean, there's 2 more Colossus about to pop. There's no reason to wait longer than that, because he is in quite some trouble already. Units pressing across through the middle of the map here. Stalkers warping in, Infestation Pit dropping down from Solar in the main spire as well. Green gets picked off, but, well, again, Solar should be able to swarm this, right? He's going to come in from the 2 angles. Force fields here initially, Solar will have to give up a base. That's fine, because you know what? He's got a base down to the bottom side, and Zest is still on 2 bases. Force fields forced on the top side there. The Corrosive Power's dropping down some force fields as well. There's just not enough force fields to keep everything out, especially as the Ravagers are able to break them down and force them to be replaced so quickly. This is once again a massacre in the favor of Solar. Colossus go down, GG from Zest, and Solar is destroying as we go into Game 3, potentially the last game of today's Olimoleague. Up 2-0 in the top right-hand side, our Blue Zerg from Triumphant Song Gaming. Solar, he is not one to be messed with. He is absolutely destroying this series at the moment. As in the bottom left, our Pink Protoss Zest absolutely needs to come up with some answers. thank you so much to So Much Room for Activities who came in with the Twitch Prime sub. Unfortunately, here on Turbo Cruise, not so much room for activities. Pretty tough to kind of get across the map. Obviously, with these slow zones, you can set up concaves of units to wait for units coming through there. So it can definitely be a little bit tougher to get some activities going here on Turbo Cruise. Just as a reminder, while this is potentially our last map of Olimoleague today, we have got another tournament starting up in 45 minutes. A full group featuring Euthermal, Sort of, Marine Lord, Nerazim, and Lysira. That starts in 45 minutes time, so make sure you check that out in 45 minutes. It's going to be right here on the channel. The streamer is not going to be going offline. We're going to stay alive. Should be good. Set up into this game, we do have the Adept coming across to apply some pressure, but Solo's just getting aggressive. The Balinese is already dropping down, the gas continued to mine, and he is not going to drone much further than what he is already at. Bit of a shame to then be losing a couple of the drones here then, as the Adept will shade away. And the Ling is continuing down to the bottom side of the map here. Well, he saved these two drones at least, which is nice. Tell you what, if this Adept can pick up some of these Lings, it can stop the Banes morphing in ahead of time. That'd be really nice. Two Adepts together. Oh no, for Zest though. They're going up the right-hand side, so they're heading up the right-hand side. That's kind of painful. They're maybe going to be able to see the reinforcing Lings. It depends which direction they come in and when they come in. First Balin starting to morph Zest. Such a weak wall over here as well. Pylon as part of the wall off. And perhaps that is what Solar saw to decide to be aggressive with this, as now the Adepts are heading back home. There is absolutely, I mean, you just bust the pylon. Bust the pylon, you have absolute access into this. Lings approaching the front, the Balin's on the left-hand side, the first four going to connect. I mean, Warp Gate is coming in as the Lings will decide to go around the side. Okay, well, Zest is actually able to get another wall up already. That's obviously a pretty big deal. Now the force field drops in as he warps in a sentry. Wow, that wall up was actually pretty clutch here. Solo not going with 5 Balins at the same time gave Zest a moment or two to prepare for that, and, well, now Zest is kind of holding on. A couple of Banes going to finish up, but they just, I mean, surely not just going to crash into the wall, right? Oh, they are going to go for it. There's a shield battery in the back here that is super low, but, yeah, it hasn't worked. Zest. We start up in the bottom right-hand side, getting the map win. In the bottom right, our pink Protoss is Zest. Going up against the red Zerg in the top left. Solar. Alright then. Map 4 of this best of 5. And as we get this ready to roll. The sound is clipping. I don't know what's going on. Like, my headset shouldn't be clipping because I'm pretty, I don't know. I hate audio. Ah! It's like my headset just suddenly got louder randomly. It's really weird. Don't know what to tell you. I have no answer. Probe going to be coming up to the top left as the spawning pool. Drops down. Well, Zest didn't really have to reveal much to get a game there. So maybe, perhaps, now we get a chance to see Zest going into a, Zest showing a build that he maybe feels could win. I mean, not that he has been using builds he doesn't think could win before now, but he has to use something that he thinks is absolutely his best chance of a victory. And on Acropolis as well, it's a really larger map. Can definitely cause some chaos. Probe moving around behind the mineral line. We do see the Overlord of Solar continue to press down to the bottom right-hand side. So there's little bits and pieces of information. There comes the Adept from Zest, and of course, the next stage of this will be the tech choice. Had a few robo openings, had a Stargate into Resonating Glaze. We haven't seen just a straight up Archon drop, which is usually one of Zest's favorites. Adept gonna go shading out onto the map. There we go. Twilight Council drops down, and that should be a bit of an indicator of a Dark Shrine Robo Facility Archon drop setup. Like I said, it's one of Zest's favorites, so it absolutely makes sense to be the to kind of be the what he falls back to. Twilight Council will finish up. And again, Dark Shrine is the kind of go-to at this point. The Robo coming down. It's a pretty well-defined build. Players use this. I've used this for months upon months now. It's been a very long time since the first shield itself is a style. So you are going to be seeing the Zerglings coming down the left-hand side as well, trying to see what is going to happen. Setting themselves up. Obviously Solar at this stage, he'll kind of start realizing it's not a Stargate soon when A, the Phoenix doesn't come to kill an Overlord, and B, the Oracles don't show up to kill drones. The depth from Zest going up that right hand side there. The Lair and the Rotron continue to drop down here at the moment as well. So it's a pretty typical response from Solar against what he's playing. Make sure he has the Lair up so he can get an Overseer out quite easily. The Rotron obviously allows him to get the Roaches up to defend and deflect those Archons as well. The two Adepts are going to come in at the same time, so the two Adepts will go one way. The two Adepts will go one way while the Archons will go another. Set this up, get this ready to go. .40T is going to be morphing in here to begin. So here we go. The .40T is going to start pressing forwards and going to go initially towards that natural expansion. Two Adepts go into the third at the same time. They get a couple of drone kills. The DTs are going to go for the Spore, but it doesn't matter too much because the Overseer is about to complete anyways. And the War Prism will just lift those DTs up. And of course, now you bring them away. Now you're going to be able to bring them to a point where they're going to be ready to morph into those those Archons. You know what, guys? I feel like my microphone connection is a bit funky more than anything else, actually. So maybe I can fix that up at some point. I just tried putting in another slot, but then I could hear myself. Which is a bit of a yikes for me. Alright, sorry. I'll stop messing around with that. War Prism is coming in through the top side at the moment, so coming across over to the left. We see the Spire on the way up as well. Getting this ready to go. Archon's dropping down. So I like the Spire on this map. It's a nice large map, obviously, so a lot of potential. I mean, it slows down any sort of counter-attack. If your opponent tries to base trade you, it's even better for the Mutalisks in that scenario. As the War Prism comes back down to the bottom, so Prism changing directions here. Mortal on the way up. So that production will continue. The Spire is going to be finishing shortly, and again, that's what Solo's building for now. Zest, when it comes to scouting that Spire, is about to see it here. No, turns away. The scout is so important when it comes to... Okay, he comes back in. He will see the Spire now. Great scout. Now he can immediately start adding cannons to deal with this, and we'll also see how much he's going to commit and try and do elsewhere. I'm dropping down a couple of Archons. Gonna be picking up a few of the Zerglings right there. Lings running around in the center of the map, and we are going to be seeing the Roaches, the Queen. coming out over on the left. Again, Ling's poking on the third base. Blink on the way up, +1 attack on the way up. Continue to set up into this at the moment. Still, these Mutalisks heading down to the bottom side, trying to see where they can go here. As the Overseer gets turned away by the few Stalkers. I mean, with Blink and +1 on the way, there should be... Okay, that's an unfortunate moment for the Prism. It's a nice snipe, obviously takes away a lot of potential there in terms of micro, etc. Gets a sentry too. Zest is obviously going to be kept extremely on the defensive. He's got a lot of money, Zest. It's a big round of Stalkers that he warps in, but he'll still have a, close to 1,000 gas in play. Just sat in the bank. Not currently being utilized at all. Needs to try and fix that up a little bit here. Otherwise, he might be in some trouble. Stalkers, Immortals continue to gather together. We see the Mutas ready to head into the main base. Infestation Pit going to be completing shortly. +2 attack starting to chrono boost out on the Forge. Hive starting up in the main base from Solus, again that ready to roll as well. Baneling speed on the way on the Baneling Nest, +1 melee as well. So it's going to be, again, it's a lot of Ling Bane. As the Hive comes up, the Roaches and the Ravagers are going to be a bit more of a backbone to the Ling Bane army. The Ravagers great, of course. Pop down those force fields with the Corrosive Bowels does a lot. And we do have the Mutalisks heading down to the bottom side here, trying to see perhaps what they can do. Stalker's going to come blinking on in and able to deal some damage to the Mutas there. So Mutas taking a little bit of damage. We do also have the extra Banelings now morphing in from Solar, so getting the extra Banes up and running. More of these shield batteries going to be on the way. And again, Archon's just chasing Mutalisks away out through the natural expansion. +2 melee, the choice to continue on the Evo Chamber. There's the Corrosive Bowels popping down the first few force fields. There's not actually many more sentries with energy. So here we go. Solar's just going to roll himself into this army. My god, the Banelings are massacring units once again. I feel like I've used Massacre in 3 of these 4 games because every time Solar takes these larger fights, it feels like a massacre. Now, a few units do survive. A couple of Archons, a couple of Mortals. These High Templar show up. They're now going to have Storm. That makes a big difference. Charge about to complete as well, so Zealots can be good as a reinforcing unit now. Chasing down some of these Overlords. Zest will get some damage done. Solar spending a lot of money rebuilding the Ling Bane army, ready for another wave of attack, or just a wave of defense. Great Aspire on the way as well, so Solar will have options to move towards Broodlords here as we see Zest beginning to prepare for that. Nexus rebuilding on the 4th base, the Stargate in the main. He's not afraid of playing into a later stage of this game. Still ready to accept that if that's the way it's going to go. So these Mutas obviously did quite a bit of damage. Hold Zest around a lot, forced him to go Blink initially as well. Solar couldn't really end the game with that follow-up attack, but again, the fact he has a Great Aspire, the fact he has a transition planned, is already a pretty good sign for him here. As we see those Mutalisks going to hang out over on the right-hand side. A few extra Banelings from Solar morphing in to the center of the map. A few probes dropping down as well. Solar's maxed out once again here. And a nice Storm hits a good few Zerglings. 13 probes getting blown up over on the 3rd base. Damn. That's a lot of damage dealt. 5 Broodlords on the way up, +2 melee about to complete. Fleet Beacon is going to be done shortly as well. Help out with that double Stargate. Here we go once more. Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers. Gathering on the middle of the map. Storm drops down. Lings taking damage. 4 more Broodlords on the way up here. Again, Lings trying to move in towards the right-hand side. Well, Zest is rebuilding, and at this stage, obviously Solar's kind of been a bit happy to sit back because he's getting Broodlords. So Zest is going to be able to max out and, or get towards maxing out. It means his army supply is pretty similar to that of Solar, but again, now it's a very different composition from Solar. The introduction of Brood Lords changes a lot, and the Tempests aren't here yet. Now, Zest will be in some trouble. Solar will be in some trouble when those Tempests are out, because there is actually nothing to shoot up in this army. There is one Corruptor in the sky, and it's going to morph into a Brood Lord as well. So when the Tempests come into play, Solar might be in trouble. But how much can Solar do before the Tempests are ready to go here? I mean, Tempests are out very soon. It obviously will still take a while for the Tempests to pick their way through the multiple Brood Lords in the sky. Zest is going to lose this base over here. At the same time, Probe's being blown up over on the third base mineral line as well. Brood Lords jumping, attacking onto the High Templar there, especially. Really nice pickoff. Some Banes are going to find their way into that army as well. And man, these Broodlings have just got these units cut off at the moment. Banes just keep on connecting. Roaches and Ravagers overwhelming. There's quite a few Archons and Mortals still left over. Is it enough for Zest? Can he find a way to defend this? He's going to try and bring some Archons on top of the Broodlords, and the Broodlord count is dropping. The Tempests are doing what they're meant to do. Unfortunately, there's Roaches and Ravagers now streaming Zerglings on the ground. Obviously, Zerglings are going to be very difficult to deal with when you're working only with the Tempests, and that's going to be GG.